Alright, here we go. Game 2. Morax versus archsimkat. After the draw in round 1. We'll see if these players do anything different. Looks like it will be a UEF mirror again, as per procedure. But do we have anything different coming out from these players? Looks like Morax is going to go for only a single mech marine, and then get some tanks later. The bomber was nice. Inti sleeping. Now it looks like archsimkat will respond with his own aggressive mech marine. Looks like he's not going to pair it with... Oh, there we go. There's the scout. Changed his mind. Mech marines do perform significantly better when they have a friend. That's why they are the friendliest unit. But we will see another second air coming out from archsimkat. Meanwhile, Morax... Is it going to be second air again? Yeah, it looks like it. Both players now doing one aggressive mech marine. But Morax will be slightly slower on the reinforcement tank. We'll see if that matters at all. Both mech marines being sent up in somewhat mirrored fashion. Going to attack the opponent's engineer, sent to expand to the high ground. So the question will be, do either of these players open Inti first from their second air factory? They both know that their opponent opened second air last game. And if you know your opponent's going to open second air, you obviously want an Inti first out of your second air. Although you can also do a bomber to mirror, but then you risk them getting the Inti first. That's dangerous. Looks like, yeah, Morax is going to go Inti scout, 2 Intis, then a bomber. So absolutely expecting Arch to go second air and build a bomber first, and that is exactly what Arch is going to do. Morax is going to go ahead and call him out. He's like, I saw what you did last game. I'm not going to let it happen again. Instead, I'm going to let this happen. Arch's mech marine going to come in exactly on the path of the expanding engineer. And there we go, the move in. Tank from Morax still in the base. There's no hope for this guy. He's just going to die in a field trying to reclaim a tree. Meanwhile, this engineer is scouted by the scout. We're having a bit of a scout war. Looks like he did see the bomber too, which could be useful. I don't know if he got a lock. We will see. But this mech marine should be able to come around and kill this engineer, unless it doesn't want to. Oh no, it definitely wants to. It definitely wants to do this. It's a good idea. Looks like Scout wandered a bit too far. Gets picked up by the ACU. Other mech marine just trying to escape this tank. It's a bit wounded. But meanwhile, up here, engineer does die. Mark's going to try to dodge there. Get some extra damage on this tank, but eventually get cleaned up. Meanwhile, bomber on the left side. Engineer gets the dodge off. Arch trying to line up for a second bomb, but messes it up. Is he going to try to get a turn and drop again? He's trying real hard, but the Intis are out. Gets the drop off and just barely kills that engineer. Morax not pleased with that turn. That was a very silly turn. He's going to get a pickup on the other Inti, but the bomber does get a bomb off on the base, and I don't know. I guess he was just blindly firing it. Tries to get greedy again with the pass, tries to get the turn, but the Intis will pick it up. So it looks like Morax is going to be ahead in Inti count. At least immediately, unless there's some weird micro here, which there may be. It's off the edge of the map, so the anti-off mapping script will be invoked, so anything's possible. Did Morax lose all his Intis? No, one of them's still alive. Okay. But it might win. No. Okay. Crisis averted. Inti did not lose 2v1. But now Morax out with his own bomber. And Arch with a bomber and no Inti. This is actually a really big kill right here. This tank over on the right side, killing engineer from Arch. That was going to grab all this mass. That's at least like 300, 400 mass denied by a single tank. And now this tank can go hide in this corner for the entire rest of the game and force Arch to clean it up. But looks like Morax is going to send his ACU to the slightly off-meta position again. Going to try to contest this reclaim. Or maybe go to middle. That's the other option. Bomber coming off. Gonna have some trouble with the cliffs, maybe? Gets a partial hit. Down to half health on the Engineer. Engineer will now start dodging. But I don't know, it might not be able to completely dodge. Bomb was away. This is pretty close. Yep. There we go. Pickup for Morax. Things are going his way. He actually hasn't sent an Engineer to cliff build this. Just as far as, well, except for the early one. Bomber now out from archsimkat. Gonna try to get a bomb on this Engie, but it's really close to the cliff. That's not gonna happen. Meanwhile, push over on the left side. Morax just gonna force these tanks from archsimkat away. Engineer gets picked up in mid. Bomb comes off from a better angle, but nice dodge from Morax. Gonna keep that alive. Inti's gonna come in now. Morax is on point with the micro today. Keeps the Engie alive, which is very important because now we can go try to grab this. Although the ACU from archsimkat might want a word. Now, big question is, can Morax punch through here on the left side? I think he might be able to, but it's a bit dicey and he doesn't have good intel. He's gonna try to bring some more tanks. Morax actually might be able to get some nice trades here with the ACU. It's a bit unfortunate. He went to mid, and that'll allow him to sort of screen out Arch's ACU from moving to mid. But it did let Arch get the maybe 600-700 mass there, and that's a big amount of mass. Arch is currently up about 200 reclaim overall. We might see a great tank fight here from Morax. Arch is fighting 4 versus 6. So who does have a slightly better formation? No, Arch is going to have to back up. Meanwhile, ACUs continue to posture on the left side. Morax with these great air scouts. I love these air scouts. He sees everything. He's like, radar? I think you mean chumpdar. Like, we don't need that here. We have scout planes. Oh, my homies love scout planes. And now he has the inties to actually protect them because he does... Well, he was winning in the inti count, but now he has a transport out. He's going to try an aggressive drop? Or maybe this is a... I don't know where he's going to drop. But Arch does scout this very conveniently, just as it's leaving the base. He's going to send his inties over to posture on the left side. Morax is taking great fights, though. He's got good control over here on the left side. He might be being a bit too passive, but he is kind of threatening to run in on Arch's ACU, which definitely could be a play. Though he might be splitting his army up a bit too much. This might be an okay trade for Arch, as he's going to... He's trying to do stuff. And now Arch's ACU looks like it's screening Morax out from this position. Morax just hasn't managed to get his ACU where it needs to be. He's always been like 30 seconds too slow in the positioning, and now this army gets completely surrounded and picked up. But Morax, for his trouble, does have the transport. He's going to save money by not building a land factory up on the here, and he's going to get more engineers faster to grab this extremely quickly. Meanwhile, Arch is going to do the traditional thing. Actually, he's going to send a second Engie to assist the cliff build. Get that a tiny bit faster, but I don't know how well that'll work out. It looks like Arch is going to call a pause. These mexes should die. There's basically nothing to protect them. And that opens up all 4 of these engineers to raids. But Arch does have the advantage that he can apply pressure this way with the ACU, while Morax's ACU is largely out of position. Looks like he just needed a second for something. I don't know if Morax wants this engagement. Arch should be able to control the reclaim field with the ACU once it shows up. There's also this one very nice tank that's actually done a lot of damage and is going to kill another mechs over here. Morax's transport going to drop middle. Very nice. And he's going to try to contest left side here. There is a factory, but a few tanks dropped on top of it will cause Arch a huge headache. He's actually going to try to drop here and maybe build a PD, but lots of inches from Arch. This is going to be gonna be close. Yeah, too close. Gets picked up on the approach. It was a nice attempt, and he got this. He got this. There's actually an factory going up here now. Morax might find out about sometime. This radar is going to be very valuable. We're going to try to get the hydro up on the left side. That's a bit ambitious. It's the caster word. Yeah, Arch is actually going to send his AC back a ways, and for his trouble, he's going to provoke a fight that isn't going to trade terribly well for him. I'm actually not sure. This is kind of close. But it looks like Morax's AC is going to come over here from the right side, going to the left. Morax continues to dominate on the right, though. Very nice trades. And Arch has to be careful that he actually doesn't die here. His army's a bit out of position. The ACU is right next door. How's his intel looking? He's got okay radar. Okay radar. He also has like 600 mass in storage. I don't know about that one. But a huge reclaim advantage. Arch up about 1,700 reclaim. That's him controlling both these patches of rocks, I believe. Looks like Morax will spot this. The one disadvantage of not building the factory here is your opponent can respond by building their own factory. Try to take it back. Morax is being very cautious with the AC. You're going to let Arch get some great trades here. I don't know where he's going. This Hydra has actually been abandoned. Morax decides it's not worth the trouble. He's going to back off. But again, Arch is kind of being a bit ambitious here. He's got the two separate armies, and Morax can try to choose to fight only one of them and go for the full defeat in detail. And he might want to do that soon. He does have this long-term problem. Actually gets down to half health from engineers reclaiming it. It looks like all the boys are going to try to run in on Morax's ACU with the Shift G. You know, just a regular move. Tanks being brought in. Actually pauses ACU briefly for some reason. But he's going to move in. Morax's going to take some free kills on Arch's retreat. This may be a trap. Arch currently sitting at 35 tanks in the vicinity. Morax with only... Alright, with 34. That's about exactly the same. Both of these players being a bit passive, letting their armies do some leading, getting some nice free kills. Arch is going to take air control quite decisively. He's been investing in that for quite a while. He's actually got NG assist on the air factory there. And I'd actually like to see a bunch of bombers come out and just take a load of HP off of Morax's ACU. He does not have a single mobile anti-air with the force. But Arch doesn't want to throw this again. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to draw. He wants to take the win. Time is on his side. He's got a good play going over on the right side ledge. And Morax, maybe sensing this opportunity, is going to try to run his way forward again. He's got two bombers. He's going to get some free kills. And where are Arch's reinforcing units? They're all the way over here. And over here on the right side again, he's left his ACU all alone. Morax is going to go ahead and do some more blocking. He's got some vastly superior numbers this time, and he's just going to go in. He has to just send his units in. Arch made all these investments to win other portions of the map, but if his ACU dies, that's it. He just doesn't have the units. I don't see how he survives. He's got more bombers coming in. He's got 3 bombers, but that's a lot of tanks to kill with 3 bombers. He's got the reinforcement units, but they're a bit far away. As long as Morax keeps the tanks on Arch's ACU, he gets the nice vet there, up to 7k HP. But Morax might just be able to run him down. He has the OC. Probably should be auto-OCing at this point. Get that additional DPS. Bomber's going to come out focusing Morax's AC. Going to try to go for the draw here. Arch down below 5k HP. I don't know if... I mean, maybe Arch can draw this if he gets a good block. But I think he dies either way. Friendly fire from the UEF Bomber is going to clear the units that are trying to block Morax's ACU. Looks like Morax might be able to... Looks like the block is successful. Arch does get away with sufficient health, but Morax is going to vet soon. I mean, maybe the bombers can deal with him. Is he actually far enough away? Yeah, it looks like he is far enough away, but Morax does get the vet. He's going to continue chasing Arch's ACU, although that will not work, as the ACUs are the same speed. And bombers coming in should get the DPS needed. There's no AA on the way. So that was really close from Arch, but bombers and units... Yeah, next vet is pretty far away. like archsimkat will take game 1 in this best of 3 after we had the draw in, let's say, game 0. GG's.